So this video started because of a question raised about the age of King Azahiah. Azahiah, how would you say that? So in the Second Kings, and it says 22 years old. In Second Chronicles, it says 42 years old. And the question is, what is the age? Obviously, it's not about the age. The purpose of a Muslim to raise such a question is to erase the Bible. Okay? Now, for anyone wanting to dive into this thing, might be helpful to remember this analogy in the books. Like if you are looking for Second King in Greek, that would be fourth king. Okay? And so that's a technical thing. Okay? Now in here we got Second Chronicle Masoretic. Okay, KJV comes from Masoretic, but we would never bother studying the KJV or any other translation. The sources are Masoretic, the Greek, the Syriac Bible. I don't know. Don't think there are other sources. I don't know. But the idea is there is no point talking about KJV or any other translation. Wherever Bible you are, usually in the West, they are based on the Masoretic. So, indeed, the Masoretic text, 8 centuries after Christ, comes the Masoretic and has these two ages, 42 and 22. I guess is a copy error, okay, and the copy errors are not a shock or a surprise or something that would shake Christian, okay. This is not something which we have like the motto of books coming from heaven, preserved copies, etc. That's a Muslim thing, and if you observe carefully, you would see that every newcomer has a motto. Okay, so Muslims have the motto of perfect preservation, although doesn't seem to be much the case. But anyway, Jehovah Witness have the motto of the name must be Jehovah. Okay, Protestants have other motto like Bible only, or confess the Lord you are saved, faith only. Anyway, that's the thing. Everyone comes with a motto, and for Muslims, the verbatim copy is the main motto. Now, if you have a verbatim copy of a rubbish book, a non-serious book, what good is that? Anyway, the idea is that I'm not shocked or shaken because we don't have such a stance in the Orthodox Church. Okay, the Masoretic, I would never defend it, of course. Okay, it's not my Bible. We got a very negative stance against it, we Orthodox. It is a copy error in Masoretic. end of story. I don't think there is anything else to be said about that. The Syriac Bible seems to mention in both books, 2nd Chronicles and 2nd King, the age 22, which seems from all the pieces put together to be the correct age, okay, 22 years old. And my Bible, the Greek Bible, says 22 years old in the book of King, okay, 4th King for us, 2nd King for Masoretic, and it says 20 years old, not 42, in the book of Chronicles. Now, I don't know why it says 20 years old in the book of Chronicles. It's an historic book, okay? I guess some copy error, and that's all about it. I don't think there is anything to discuss further. What is worth discussing though, okay? Because this is a big thing. Even this morning I was listening on YouTube, a lady that had abandoned Christ and everything, and for her, this thing, 22 and 42, or 22 and 20 in the Greek Bible, would be like the biggest shock. And this is what she said, one of the big things why she abandoned Christ, okay? So that is where the essence of the matter is not in the age of the king. What does it matter how old was he? What are you going to do when a Muslim says to you 42 or 22, and his next argument is Bible has error, bye Christ, bye church, bye everything, okay? And what are you going to do? I would say that is not a matter to be taken lightly, okay? All these groups, Muslims, Protestants, Evangelicals, they are newcomers, okay? And as newcomers, all newcomers have one thing in common. They don't have the living God. Okay, none of them has the living God. And since they don't have the living God, they will stick around a motto. They will present a motto to stick around it and to demolish what pre-exists, which is the church. Okay, the Jehovah Witness will demolish the church by focusing on the name Jehovah. The Protestant may use the argument Bible only. We will try to demolish the church by that. Muslims will use the argument verbatim copies. You get the idea, okay? It is for some individuals is a serious thing, as serious as abandoning your faith, okay? There are many atheists, okay, that have abandoned the faith because they either found a copy error or something that is a matter of interpretation, but it's not an error. Okay. So is a big thing, and is a sad thing. I was grown up atheist. I was born atheist in the most atheistic country. Okay, and remained till I was 33, maybe with small pauses. I remained atheist, and sometimes very, very big enemy against the Orthodox Church, which was my immediate environment, of course. Okay, was not Islam. If it was Islam, I would speak against Islam. Okay, but that was my immediate environment, and in generally, I used to say to people, "No God" and all these things, and now it's not a matter that I want to boast. Okay, not at all, not at all. It is a matter that it is what it is. Okay, that's I come from the Orthodox Church, a member of the Greek Orthodox Church, which has the living God. Okay, has the living God. Open the Old Testament, open the New Testament to understand what is the living God. Open the Quran to understand what is the lack of the living God. Zero presence, doing nothing. Okay. And for example, someone asked Peter for money. Peter said, "Don't have silver, don't have gold. I have Jesus Christ resurrected, crucified and resurrected, and in his name I say you walk." And Peter did the miracle. Okay, so this is someone that comes from the living God. Okay, Peter came in Corinth, a Greek Orthodox church which is still alive today, and went in many other places. Okay, so now give it a try. Okay, give it a try, and you go back in time and say to Peter, okay, take your travel machine and say to Peter, "Hey Peter, I am a Muslim. Okay, I have the perfectly preserved Quran, and I came to shake you because the age of the king, whatever his name was, somewhere is mentioned 20, somewhere 22 in the Greek Bible." Okay, yeah, good luck, shake Peter. Good luck shaking someone who has a living God. And that's why I've put the title in here, Living God or Verbatim Copies. Seek the living God. Who cares if you have verbatim copies? Even if you have the verbatim copies, so what? How they gonna treat your ego, your fallen nature, your sin, your everything? Who cares for your perfect Quran, which is not even a serious book? Who cares? What is Quran going to do? Okay. For me, Quran is zero, but I take the best case. If by miracle you have the perfect Bible falling from the heaven, so what? So what? Okay? They had the living God walking among them without a book. Okay? And they killed God. They spat on God. They punched God. They pierced his hands and his legs. Okay, dear Muslim, can you have a more preserved thing than the living Christ? Christ brought the church saves, the sacraments, the baptism, the Holy Communion. That's the essence. Satan, that's the job of Satan. We know how Satan works. All the age, and people get shocked, abandon, exit the faith. Are you serious? If you are a Protestant, listen, you're gonna let these things shake you? No, no. And if you are a Muslim listening, are you gonna stick to the motto of verbatim copies and do nothing about not having a living God? If you are a Muslim and listening and raising to me the question about the age of the king, I will say, okay, copy error, God allows it. God, I trust God, He knows what allows and what doesn't allow. But dear Muslims, you have a dead fake God. What you gonna do about it? What you're going to do? Your fake dead God, not even in theory saves you. Not even theory. Okay? He does nothing to you. He does nothing to you ontologically, practically. He only gives you fake promises of heaven. Okay? If you were to go in heaven Muslim and your Allah was real, He should already have taken you instead of leaving you here. Okay? You don't have the living God. Whoever you are, Muslim, Protestant, whatever, that's the essence of it. Don't allow such thing to shake you. Millions died for Christ. That's all. That's the only name. Jesus Christ. Everybody wants a piece from Him. Jesus Christ. Don't want to make this video longer. I hope I made my case. I would never go and defend the age. It is what it is. I say this because I see people, they put stress and weight on their shoulders to defend. Why would you defend something? If something is a copy error, is a copy error. If Quran speaks rubbish, it speaks rubbish. Why would you defend it? So free yourself from all these things and seek the living God. Seek the living God that does everything that He promises. He says, with my baptism, with my church, with my communion, with my body, with my blood, I will transform you. And through this transformation, I will bring you to a point that I can take you with me. Okay? Because if we could go without transformation to God, what's the point being in here? sinning and doing crimes. Okay, what's the point? There is no point. Okay, that's it.